Earth signs, the energy this week is about grounding what the eclipse revealed last week. So something in your life is becoming clearer, and it may change how you move forward. After the emotional revelations of the eclipse, the lunar eclipse last week, the earth signs are being asked to bring structure to what they've learned. Not everything needs to change, just what isn't aligned anymore. So for Taurus, your long-term vision is evolving. New possibilities appear when you release expectations about how the future should look. Virgo, relationships are going to be asking you for clarity and honesty. Mutual understanding brings stability for you this week. And Capricorn, communication becomes powerful for you this week. One meaningful conversation may shift everything for you. What is becoming clear now is guiding the path ahead. Trust the unfolding. Now let's get into this week's Earth sign reading. So here we go. This is for our Earth signs for this coming week. We're coming up in the center of this. Okay, so I'm going to mention at the beginning of this, although when this posts on YouTube, I will give a deeper astrological explanation for the week, but we're starting out with Mercury in retrograde in Pisces. And then it's going to be in retrograde in Scorpio, I think, at the end of the week. But long story short, it's going to be a week where things are coming up. Hidden things are coming to light. Secrets are being revealed. It's a time for introspection and contemplation. It's not necessarily a week for launching new things and making big decisions, right? And so that's the week we have coming up. So the last reading, the fire reading, we had the moon card, all this stuff coming up. It's so jive with that. And now us, earth signs, in the heart of our spread this week, we get the death card. This came out in the last reading as well, death. You would think this would be one of the scariest cards in the tarot. Over on my YouTube channel, I have a scariest cards in the tarot deck I made when I first launched my channel back in October for Halloween. And I ranked the scariest cards. And death is nowhere near the number one. You would think it would be, but it's not. I love the death card. We'll get back to that in a second. We're being crossed as our challenge, obstacle, or awareness by the Three of Pentacles. Got a Three of Pentacles. We're bringing with us in our subconscious tool shed, justice. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I had to look more carefully at these cards and these two look so alike. But this one's the Hierophant. He looks just like Justice. They also both look like a lot like the Emperor. So anyway, we've got the Hierophant in our subconscious tool shed. Stepping out of our immediate past, Earth signs, we have the Empress. Look at that. 3 major arcana and a little bit of Pentacles because we're starting new. Wow. In our crown, Earth signs. This is something that will have to be addressed. This is on our top 5 scariest cards in the tarot, and it's in our crown, and that is the 9 of Swords. That we have to address. And we shall. And that's not surprising with the kind of week we're stepping into, you guys. That is exactly why it's a week for being pensive and thoughtful and contemplative and not making big decisions and taking big steps and stuff. That's exactly why. And we're stepping into the immediate future. 8 cups. This is going to lead to 8 cups. Necessarily so. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, in your environment this week, Earth signs. High Priestess. You are the High Priestess this week in your environment. Wow. Your environment around you. Or sometimes it's the way your people in your environment are seeing you. Or it's the energy around you in your environment. And we've got the Lovers. The 6th major arcana. You guys, I gave these cards a good shuffle, but because it's a general Celtic crossbred and because of what we're going through, big things planetarily, do go watch when this drops. Do go watch on YouTube when this drops on Monday, you guys, because I'll give a short little astrology overview as I lead into the recording. Lots of major arcana. Where's our fire? Where's our fire? hopes and fears section. Pentacles, a Knight of Pentacles. We had 3 Pentacles. Okay, there's our Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. And then potential final outcome, everyone. Oh, love it. 10 Cups. I'm sorry, 9. Not 10. 9 Cups, still gorgeous. End of a cycle, though. But gorgeous, beautiful, fulfillment, satisfaction. Love, love. All right. So now, before we get more deeply into this spread, Earth signs, we're going to pull a card from our Arcanum, which I did my special back forth, and we're going to pull one. We'll leave it hidden until the end of the reading, and it'll give us further clarification or confirmation, and we're going to read it either upright or reversed, whichever it is. And it will give us further clarification. Sometimes it's just flat out confirmation. But I prefer when it's further clarification. We'll keep it hidden until the end of the reading. Okay. Earth signs are coming up this week in the center of the spread with the Death card. This is transformation. This is rarely an actual physical death. Rarely an actual physical death. It's transformation. It's when you have transformed. You're like a new person. It's like you look back at your old self and you don't recognize that person. That's somebody who's been through the Death card. That kind of transformation. And it's really not the darkest card in the tarot. There's hardly any dark in the card. There's a little bit of black on the flag here, but it's a huge white rose for purity. He's on a gentle white horse. He's walking off between 2 towers into a sunrise, a brand new day. It's actually a beautiful card, because to progress in our lives and not stay stuck, we all have to go through these transformations. So I love it when the Death card shows up. I love it. Love, love. Also, as I pointed out in the last video for fire signs, there's a bunch of characters in this card looking at death differently. You've got the priest that's begging, pleading with death. You've got the woman who's crying, lamenting. You've got the old man laying face down on the ground. You've got a child who's just kind of curious and looking at death kind of curious. And the whole message there is the way you pass through these transformations and what happens and how it affects you and how you are, whether you come out the other side better or worse, depends on how you choose to think of it, look at it, and approach it, just like the characters in the card. So we're being challenged this week. Now that we've gone through this transformation, we are the apprentice. This is the apprenticeship card. It's 3 Pentacles. It's learning a new trade. Maybe you're starting a new social media channel. Maybe you're venturing out somehow, right? Things are changing. You have and so you're kind of going back to school, you're apprenticing again, and you have people around you kind of judging your work. There's an element of that to this card. This is a kind of dark card in the turn. There's a lot of dark in this card, only because you're going kind of back to the bottom of the totem pole. You're having to kind of claw your way up again, and you're being judged by others. And yeah, so because of that, there's quite a bit of dark in this card. It is in my darkest cards in the tarot video. However, I don't see it as dark. I just see it as a challenge. It is our challenge. That's where we are in some things right now. We're bringing with us, as a part of our subconscious tool shed, the Hierophant. He's the 5th major arcana. The 5s in the deck are always, I consider them kind of off balance and off putting. It has a pull to it. It has a negative pull that kind of tries to hold you back. We've got the 6 in our environment, so I'm not worried about this, and it's a very necessary step, and especially the Hierophant. What the Hierophant is a religious leader that is in charge of laying down the rules for the group, for the society, for the community, is what Hierophants were. They were your Pharisees and your Sadducees and your priests and your cardinals and all of those people were the general word is Hierophant, right? So the Hierophant represents the needs of the collective, the needs of the group. And this could be any groups that you're included in. We are all most of us are involved in many different groups. So this could be your church groups, your PTA groups, your work groups, your school groups, your career, how you identify as a professional, your group of lawyers, your group of, look, lawyers have a bar exam. That's all those rules that you adhere to in order to be included in a group. That's the Hierophant card. So we're bringing this with us in our subconscious tool shed. A sensitivity to that, to the needs of the group, the expectations of the group. That's interesting. That's part of our subconscious tool shed. It's neither bad nor good. And it's very necessary. So that's interesting. We've got, I would just say, since that's down here in our subconscious tool shed, we have a inner awareness of how our actions affect others. And that's cool. That's really cool. Stepping out of our immediate past is the third major arcana. So look, we're challenged by the Three of Pentacles because we're stepping out of this Empress. We're growing something new. We're fertilizing. She's pregnant in this card. She is, I would say the Magician is manifestation. She's incubation. She's fertility. She's growth. She's growing things. She's producing things, but they're not yet seen yet. That's usually the people's challenge is it's a seed that's under the ground and there's all kinds of stuff happening. There's roots going, but from above ground, you don't see anything yet. And so the temptation is always to dig up the seed and make sure something's happening. And then you kill it. So you can't do that. Okay. So let's get up here to what's happening in our crown. We've got these 9 pentacles. 9 swords in our crown up here. This area is critical because what's in our crown is what we're thinking. It's the thoughts we tell ourselves. It's the words we say to ourselves and out loud. And it affects how we feel. It affects what we're manifesting in our lives. And this is a card of anxiety. The sleepless nights, sitting up in bed, repetitive thoughts that keep bugging you that you can't. And they're not good thoughts because they're keeping you up. They're not peaceful thoughts. They're not, they're anxiety thoughts. And so this is one of the, I don't want to give it away. You're going to have to go watch the video to see where it ranks in the top 5, but I'm going to tell you it's in the top 5 scariest cards in the tarot deck. And especially when you get this card in your crown this week. And I'm not surprised it's in the crown. I mean, I'd be fine if it's in our recent past. Okay, wow, that sucked. We had we were awake at night because we couldn't, and aren't we glad that's over? But for this week, it's in our crown, and that's not surprising. We're being represented by the Death card. We've gone through this big transformation, and we've got this moon in Pisces with Mercury retrograde. So and we're still in Pisces season. So all the things are going to be coming up. Plus, you're incubating something, and yet you're not seeing it, and you're being watched by others, and so that can lead to all of this in the crown. It's very critical that we get a hold of those thoughts and cut off those racing thoughts. So meditation is wonderful. Mindful breathing, just interrupting the frequency as often as you can. If you're not good at meditating, just short little practices, it really helps in rewiring those thoughts. And then affirmations, and then, like writing down the opposite affirmation, and it can really help when you have this going on in your crown. A lot of this tarot is based on Kabbalah. And in Kabbalah, with the Tree of Life, everything starts here and manifests from there, So it's super important. Look what we're stepping into. Okay, but it's also, let's check this out. It's also a 9 because you're at the end of a cycle. Death card. You've come through an ending. You're stepping through. You've come to the end of a cycle. So that always happens. You have things that have to end and all that. It can be anxiety making. You've got it. You know how to handle those thoughts. As long as you're aware of them, you know how to handle them, it's no thing. You've got a 9 in your potential final outcome. This beautiful 9 cups, satisfaction, end of a cycle, but feeling very grateful and fulfilled is the potential final outcome. You're stepping into the 8 cups. 8 cups. So what that is walking away from 8 full cups. That is strength. The 8th major arcana is strength. So this is associated with strength. The strength, the turn, and notice also it's the moon at night. It's hard. He doesn't know what has ahead of him, but he knows in order to get there, he has to walk away from this. What used to be very fulfilling and gratifying has to be left. And that can be very anxiety making. It often represents walking away from addictions. When this shows up, especially like our immediate future, walking away from those things that pull us from our right path, whether it's addictions like alcohol, drugs, toxic relationships, addictive scrolling, whatever the thing is, addictive, poor, bad health habit, eating habits, whatever. But that's the strength to walk away. So that's us walking away from those things. Then look, we are, even though we have all these mysterious things, we are the High Priestess in our environment. She is pure. She comes right before the Empress in the major arcana. She's pure intuition. She's all knowing. She's God. She's holding the Torah. She's all divine knowledge, and there are no secrets from the High Priestess, but it's all intuition. It's not book learning. It's divine knowing is the High Priestess, and that's us in our environment this week. That's gorgeous. Trust that. Don't dig up the seed that's growing, that's doing things. Just be patient and trust. The environment's given us this beautiful 6th major arcana, the Lovers. I love it. This is a card for passionate new connections with people on a deep level, and not just sexual. Could be like passionate lovers that way, but this is also like the new friend you meet that you're like, wow, I feel like I've known this person all my life. It's a business opportunity that's like full of mutual like love and admiration, respect. It's that new business partnership that's mutually advantageous. Is the Lovers card. You got this volcano in the middle going off. That's passion. It's beautiful. That's great to have. And the 6s are wonderful because it's pulling away from the 5. Energetically speaking, it's coming back into balance. It's being able to pull away from the 5 to go on and make more forward progress. The 6s, when we think of it numerologically. In our hopes and fears sector is a Knight of Pentacles. So I'm pretty sure this goes along with the pentacles that we're working on. Whatever this thing is we're growing and trying to manifest career-wise, it has to do with our material well-being, health, wealth, finances. That's what pentacles are. Our earthly, worldly goods, our material goods, including our body. And it's the Knight. So we're hoping for some forward progress or message around that. The Knights are the core cards that actually go into battle and win the war. So we're hoping for something on that front. They're also the most stable, though, of all the Knights. That horse is planted in the ground. They're very taking their time, and they're very, they're not rushing in. And that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for that Knight of Pentacles message or energy coming our way in some form, and also to be able to be sure and steady as we move through this. And gorgeous potential final outcome, 9 Cups, end of the cycle with fulfillment, with feeling so much gratitude and so fulfilled on a heart level, on a soul level, not just a material level. That would be 9 Pentacles, but this is 9 Cups, which is gorgeous, especially with this 9 Swords in the crown. So do deal with that. Is going to be critical. That will affect the 9 in the potential outcome. The 9 Swords in the crown. So what could our final clarification card be to you guys? Do you think it's more about dealing with the 9 Swords in the crown? I don't know. Hi, everybody who just joined. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, all my group 7 friends. Do make sure to do all the tap, tap, tap. Do hold down, do a little power share. I like to drop in on my group 7 people, and if I can't stay for the whole thing, I like to do that power share out to other people that I think will enjoy it. Also, this is getting recorded for my YouTube channel. It will drop on Monday with a little post editing and some astrology thrown in. So do hop over there on Tarot with Kat on YouTube and subscribe, and and you can watch the whole recording if you can't stay for the whole thing. This is the end of our earth sign reading. I started with fire. In a moment, I will do air and then water. And then I'm going to hop off of here for this morning. So welcome all of you who've hopped on. Thank you for being here, you guys. Hello, hello. I do not have a moderator, so I'm not able to reply back to. I wish I could. If you have any questions for me, though, follow me, message me, ask me a question for the tarot. I'm happy to book cards for you, free of charge. I don't charge for that. Just make sure to like and follow. All right, you guys, welcome. I'm Kat. All right, what's our further? And, we got a reversal. It is a reversal, and it's the Two of Pentacles reversed. So Two of Pentacles is juggling, keeping things juggled, and we got it reversed. So it means imbalance. Imbalance. Okay, so upright, it's keeping things balanced out between your health and your, your family and all that stuff, keeping things in balance. Reversed, it's imbalance. It's financial pressure or time constraints are creating stress. It's explaining our 9 swords in the crown, you guys. Financial pressure or time constraints are creating stress. Simplify where possible. So that is I think that was my advice for you guys this week at the beginning. Is it's not a week to go to take on lots of big things and stuff. Let go all the things that you can let go or postpone toward the end of the week. That is going to help you deal with all this, not feel so stressed out up here. And it's all going to, when you do that, just trust your intuition. It's all going to come out in the end. I am so excited for next week's reading for Earth signs. That's beautiful. All right, I'm going to